Is this the next heavyweight scientist of the world? How many calls per gallon does this vehicle get? Who is the real dummy on this show?
Learn the answers to these questions and more from the man who knows it all.
Oh, I was born in a petri dish in Laboratory, Pennsylvania. My parents thought I was a dog and sent me to the pound. I was sent to a dog obedience school where the vets know how to train ya. Then to university, the finest school around. Yes, university was a well-respected college. I learned of space and vinegar, bugs and styling gel, of toothpaste time, the speed of light, flowers, trees, and birds, things that stink and noisy things and things that creep and squirt. Today I'm not a doctor, but you can call me one. Some folks call it science, but I just call it fun. Upon my every statement you can have complete reliance. I know more than you do, call me Dr. Science. I have a master's degree.
In science.
30 seconds to go.
30 seconds till what? Not the end of the world again, I hope not. Last time you ended the world, it took me weeks to get the lab cleaned up.
Don't get your blood in a flood, Rodney. Precisely 1 minute after our show begins, the mail arrives. Precisely 10 seconds after that, Zeke the security guard opens my mail. Well, our friend Zeke should be in for quite a surprise right about now. What are you looking at?
Hey, Dr. Science! This letter yelled at me.
Maybe that'll teach you not to open my mail.
Maybe.
Doubt it, though. What did you do, Dr. Science?
My masterpiece. I combined the leisure of the postal system with the convenience of the telephone. Gentlemen, the world's first self-talking letter. Dear Blabby, my research assistant keeps asking me for a raise. How can I convince him that money only grows on trees in certain parts of the Yucatan?
Dr. Science, your brilliance is matched only by your reluctance to part with $1.
Why, thank you, Rodney.
I think I'm calmed down enough now to deliver this letter to Judy.
Well, Zeke, why don't you deliver this letter to her as well?
Oh, I get it. It's a joke.
A joke.
Well, I knew a joke once, but I forgot it.
Dr. Science, should a project this important be used for practical jokes?
Why, certainly, Rodney. If we can prove a theorem and frighten Zeke at the same time, isn't that better than just proving a theorem? Surprise, Judy! Works every time.
But how does it work?
Ventriloquism, Rodney.
Aha!
A ventriloquist throws his voice to make a dummy talk. But a ventriloquist can only throw his voice a few feet. Science can do better than that.
Don't bet on it.
Nobody asked you. My first thought was to shout into the dummy's mouth. Add the appropriate postage, and then mail the dummy.
Just as I suspected, cruelty to dumb animals.
You tell him, Shorty.
And what exactly is the meaning of this? I open it, and I get your voice shouting insults.
Nincompoop!
You not only scared my poodle, you broke 3 crystal snifters I was saving for my golden wedding anniversary.
Well, I didn't know you were married, Mr. Pickett.
Well, I'm not, but if I do get married, I'll want a golden wedding anniversary, right? Dr. Science, a man's mail is his castle, and I don't want my castle yelling when I open it.
Dr. Science,
Dr. Science.
Judy and I have been talking it over.
And that was a mean trick. I would never yell at you from an envelope.
We've all got to calm down here and think about what I'm doing.
Somebody should think about what you're doing.
Look at it objectively, from my point of view. I've not only modernized the mails and ventriloquism, but if my hunch is correct, I've come up with a fuel-efficient new way to travel.
And a new way to break glass.
No way to show disrespect for figures of authority.
And women.
And dummies.
I resent that.
Calm down, everybody. As usual, my latest brilliant discovery meets with some resistance. Yes, people always fear what they can't understand, but we have a means to understand. Philco! Does anybody have a quarter?
I hear my poodle whine.
Back to work.
Me too.
Don't look at me. I have a quarter.
Good. Philco! Dredge the drudge of the past. For only by knowing where we've been can we know where we're going. Our ignorant past!
Transportation, the process of getting from here to there. through the ages, heroic men and women have risked their lives to make traveling easier. First, there was the human jetpack. One small step for man, one giant hot seat for the guy wearing it.
Ow, 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 ow.
Then there was the rocket bicycle, but that proved to be a pain in the kickstand.
Ow.
Next came the rocket car. It got 200 gallons to the mile and it didn't even go anywhere. It was followed by the plane car, but it never really got off the ground. Of course, we can't forget the plain old plane, another smashing success. In the future, will science cross a pumpkin with a car to create a melon-mobile? Who knows? All we know is science marches on.
That was then, but this is now. We're ready to move on to the next phase. If I can throw my voice across space, why can't I throw myself?
You mean body ventriloquism?
Exactly, Rodney. Sound is a wave. I'm going to surf that wave.
I forgot to give Judy your letter.
Hey, Zeke, didn't you say you had a letter for me?
Excuse me! Is my description of the discovery of the century interfering with mail call?
No, that's okay. Who's it from?
He doesn't read her mail.
It's from my Aunt Fiona Borg in Fjorgiland.
Dear Judy, I have just completed the discovery of the century. The world's first talking letter you can see. Please, may I come visit you and tell you all about it? Yours truly, Aunt Fiona.
Wow!
Aunt Fiona's coming to visit.
Gee, Dr. Science, looks like her research is even more advanced than yours.
Yes, it does bear a certain superficial resemblance to some experiments I've been doing.
Hey, Doc, Aunt Fiona's coming to visit.
Big deal.
Jealous, big guy?
Don't be ridiculous. Jealous? Me?
So, has Aunt Fiona lived in Fjorgiland all her life?
Well, not yet.
Where is Fjorgiland?
It's between the fjords of Norgiland and Yorgi-Torgi, by way of Norway.
I love fjords.
She swims in the fjord every morning.
Uh-huh.
Well, Zeke, we better clean up the science room if Aunt Fiona's coming to visit. She's a real stickler for sterile laboratory conditions.
She's a real stickler for sterile laboratory conditions. Fiona this, Fiona that!
Dr. Science, don't worry. I'm sure your research is much more important than hers.
Of course it is, Rodney. That's not the point. It's just hard to concentrate around here with Fiona, Fiona, Fiona all the time.
I know what you mean. I know.
Now, where was I? Ah, yes. It's easy to throw my voice across space, but how can I throw myself? I've turned the transponder
Closet.
into a giant echo chamber where tape recordings of my voice are bouncing around, gaining in size and volume until they will actually fill the transponder.
Until your voice fills the closet.
At which time a small timer, like the one Mom uses on her stove, will go off, indicating that I have enough noise to ride my voice anywhere I want to go.
Ooh, that sounds dangerous.
It is, Rodney. That's why you're going to go first.
I won't see any dinosaurs, will I?
Of course not.
Okay, I'll do it.
Is Aunt Fiona here yet?
Fiona, 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 how's a man supposed to think?
A man can't think.
I don't care what you can or can't do. This Fiona Borg is worth 10 of you.
Oh, 10 Dr. Sciences for one Fiona. Hey, Mr. Next Door Neighbor never woke up yesterday, Pickett? Well, I'll have you know that if there were 10 Dr. Sciences in the world wouldn't be big enough for the two of us. Right, Rodney?
Right. I don't understand what you said.
I'll show you what I said. I'll show everybody. Zeke, Judy. What is it?
Is Aunt Fiona here?
Judy, there's only one Dr. Science worth 10 Dr. Sciences, and that's Dr. Science.
Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
Ah, perfect timing. Now I just take the loudness battery pack, patent pending, and attach it to oculum vehiculus. And then Rodney can put his money where my mouth is.
I don't know what that means either, but I'm ready.
Maybe your Aunt Fiona can send her voice and image through space, but can she send herself? Well, Rodney can and will.
Wait a minute, this is your idea. I think you should test the experiment. My Aunt Fiona would say you were a coward. Or coward, I suppose.
Oh, I'm a coward now, am I? Aunt Fiona thinks I'm a coward. Rodney, give me Aki. Vector me a sector, somebody. Where should I go?
I'd tell you where to go, but this is a family show.
Montana.
How about the moon?
I'd have to go with Montana, Doc.
The moon, huh? I like it. Yep, the moon it is.
Vámonos, muchacho!
Think of it. I'll be the first audially transmitted man on the moon. Oh, the headlines. The ticker tape parade.
Dr. Science.
Not now, Rodney. I might beam up any minute now. Meetings with the president. Medals.
I'm Fiona!
On Fiona. On Fiona?
You must be Dr. Science. You just told me too much about you. I'm sorry to have interfered with your trip to the moon, but I got the frequency from a primitive mechanism and decided to beam it into Fjorgiland.
Aki, a primitive mechanism? I'll have you know that Aki's
Never
the
mind,
most...
Dr. Science. Let's take a tour of her laboratory.
Yeah, what's she working on?
Oh, I'm sure the great Fiona Borg has better things to do than take us on a tour of her lab.
I'd love to show you around my lab. I have some old projects right here. You've heard of the car phone? Well, this is the phone car. Complete cordless efficiency. 44 miles to the gallon. This would have made the pay phone obsolete.
Huh. I had a phone car 15 years ago.
I invented that 20 years ago. I recently developed the organic postage stamp. You simply rip it off, plant it, give a little water, 6 months time, envelopes.
Botany. That's a science for wimps. I'd like to see her beam herself across space, huh?
Yeah, and next I plan to beam myself across space.
Oh, yeah? Nobody can do that.
You were gonna do it.
That's different.
I'll be there before you can say, Yak Robinson.
Oh, okay. Yak Robinson. See? She can't do it.
Wasn't that the timer?
The transponder! I'm Fiona!
Judy! Sorry I'm late, Judy. I was caught in the traffic jam.
Will you marry me? I don't have any crystal snifters left, but I do have a poodle.
I wouldn't marry you if you were the last man on Earth.
Oh, what a gal!
Would you autograph my walkie-talkie?
Would you help me with some of my experiments?
I can help all of you.
Help me, will you? I challenge you, Fiona Borg. A duel to the death.
Dr. Science.
Oh, all right. Till one of us gets tired or grumpy. The challenge has been thrown. When you're ready, come find me. I'll be in the transponder, sulking and feeling sorry for myself.
I'm Fiona. What are you going to do?
I'm going into the science room to see what you're working on.
Dr. Science, are you all right?
Go away.
Dr. Science, cheer up. You want to hear a joke?
What kind of joke?
Knock, knock.
Who's that?
Rodney.
Rodney who?
Me, Dr. Science. Don't you recognize me?
Go away.
Things look bad for the big guy, Rodney.
He's got to snap out of it, and we're running out of time. There aren't many commercial breaks left.
And here comes one of them.
Oh, no!